There is a level of power that most people never reach, not because it is difficult, but because it requires something they are not willing to give up. The need to react, the need to react, the need to explain, the need to prove themselves. Think about it. How many times have you reacted instantly to something that did not even deserve your energy? A comment, a message, someone's opinion, something small, yet it pulled you in. You felt the urge to respond, to defend yourself, to explain your intentions, to make sure you were understood, and in that moment, you gave away your power. Because reaction is not control, it is surrender. Most people believe that speaking up in every situation shows strength, that explaining yourself proves confidence, that reacting quickly means you are in charge. But the truth is the opposite. The more you feel the need to react, the more control others have over you. Because they are not controlling you directly, they are controlling your response. And once they control your response, they control your state. Real power looks different. It is quiet. It is calm. It is the ability to observe without being pulled in. It is the strength to remain unchanged, even when everything around you is trying to provoke a reaction. And the moment you understand this, you stop wasting energy on things that do not matter. You stop explaining yourself to people who have already decided not to understand you. You stop reacting to situations that are beneath your focus. Instead, you learn to ignore, not out of weakness, but out of awareness. Why reacting wakens you? Reaction feels natural. Something happens and your mind immediately creates a response. It wants to defend, justify, correct, or respond. This process is automatic, correct or respond. This process is automatic, but automatic does not mean beneficial. Every time you react without awareness, you are allowing external situations to control your internal state. Someone says something you do not like, and your mood changes. Something does not go your way, and your energy shifts. A small trigger appears, and suddenly your focus is gone. This is how power is lost. Not in big moments, but in small, repeated reactions. When you react instantly, you are not choosing your response. You are following a pattern, and patterns are predictable. This means your behavior can be influenced easily. If someone knows what triggers you, they can control how you feel without ever touching you directly. That is not strength. That is dependency. True control begins when you create space between what happens and how you respond. In that space, you have a choice. You can react, or you can remain still. Stillness is powerful because it breaks the pattern. It removes predictability. It creates awareness. When you stop reacting to everything, people lose the ability to influence you easily. Not because they stop trying, but because their actions no longer reach you the same way. This does not mean you become emotionless. It means you become selective. You choose what deserves your energy. You decide what is worth your attention. And most importantly, you stop giving importance to things that do not contribute to your growth. Because not everything deserves a reaction. Some things deserve silence. Why you don't need to explain yourself? The need to explain yourself comes from a desire to be understood. You want people to see your intentions clearly. You want them to know your side of the story. You want to correct misunderstandings. This feels reasonable, but it often leads to frustration because not everyone is trying to understand you. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you. No matter how clearly you explain, they will interpret your words based on their own perspective. And the more you try to convince them, the more energy you lose. Explaining yourself repeatedly is not clarity, it is attachment. Attachment to being accepted. Attachment to controlling how others see you. But here is the truth. You cannot control perception. People will see you based on their experiences, their beliefs, and their mindset. Trying to manage that is exhausting and unnecessary. Confidence is not proving yourself. It is knowing yourself. When you are clear about who you are, you do not feel the need to constantly explain it. Your actions speak. Your consistency speaks. Your presence speaks. And over time, that becomes more powerful than any explanation. Silence, in many situations, is not weakness. It is clarity. It shows that you are not dependent on external validation. It shows that you trust your own understanding of yourself. And it protects your energy because every explanation you give to the wrong person is energy wasted. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts. Not everyone deserves your time. Sometimes the strongest response is no response at all. The power of ignoring is often misunderstood. People think it means avoidance. They think it means weakness or fear. But true ignoring is neither of those things. It is a conscious decision. It is choosing not to engage with what does not align with your focus. Every day you are surrounded by distractions, opinions, negativity, drama, situations that pull your attention in different directions. If you try to respond to all of them, you will lose your direction. Your energy will be scattered. Your focus will be broken. Ignoring protects your focus. It allows you to stay aligned with what truly matters. It creates a boundary between you and unnecessary noise, and boundaries are essential for growth. When you ignore something, you are not saying it does not exist. You are saying it does not deserve your attention. This is a powerful distinction because attention is valuable. Where your attention goes, your energy follows. And where your energy goes, your results are created. If you constantly focus on negativity, you strengthen it. If you engage with every distraction, you delay your progress. But when you ignore what does not matter, you create space. Space for clarity, space for growth, space for what truly matters. This is how focus is built. Not by trying to control everything, but by choosing what not to engage with. And over time, this choice becomes natural. You stop reacting. You stop explaining. You stop engaging with things that once pulled you in. And your life becomes quieter, not empty, but focused. You do not need to react to everything. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. And you definitely do not need to explain yourself to everyone. And you definitely do not need to give your attention to things that do not deserve it. Your power has never been in how loudly you respond. It has always been in how calmly you choose not to. When you stop reacting, you take back control of your state. When you stop explaining, you free yourself from the need for validation. When you learn to ignore, you protect your energy and your focus. This is not about being distant. It is about being intentional. So the next time something tries to pull you in, pause, observe, and choose your response carefully. Because sometimes the strongest move you can make is no move at all.